Hello, friends! The animal world is the most sincere in its emotions. These wild encounters, family protection, and territory defense are the most beautiful and true traditions. These cute little animals are so colorfully described and depicted in children's cartoons and fairy tales. But most of the time in the wild, everything happens in a different way. Bloodthirsty warriors, uncompromising fights, stubbornness, and blood. That's what we are going to talk about today. Stock up on handkerchiefs, make a cup of delicious tea, and let's check what they are doing there. But before, subscribe to the channel and make the bell gray so you will not miss the next episode, and be sure to share your impressions in the comments. What do you know about carve-up? A young lioness shares with a crocodile in their lunch. Yes, this cute zebra has wandered into the wrong area. Most likely, the striped horse was too thirsty and lost its vigilance. It's amazing how it has even lived to its size, being such a frivolous creature. I wonder when the zebra starts to run out. Will the battle for the tasty morsel continue? Or will the lion and the crocodile have already been full? And here's something new, a wild fight between two crocodiles. I wonder what these two owners of expensive skin are at odds over. Most likely, this is the division of territory matter, or defending the honor of the female crocodile. By the way, it's a well-known fact that these reptiles can have a whole harem. It is not clear why, but for one adult male there can be up to 10 adult females. But such fights are quite common, as there is a huge number of bullies among the crocodile males and, unlike other animals, they can kill a stranger quite easily. Next in line is a rather unusual battle. This fight is between a cobra and a python. Oddly enough, I have never seen snake fights. By the way, the python here is the one that is wrapped around the second snake from above. Its skin color is lighter. In fact, the fight has already become predictable. No one is twitching. Nothing is happening. The python is simply strangling the cobra. To get out of this strong embrace is almost unreal. Forget about getting out, at least let the cobra's head not blow because of the strain. Otherwise, it looks like everything is going to end that way. Oh, these crazy monkeys are capable of putting on a show even in captivity. In fact, they are gorillas, and they are one of the strongest and most aggressive representatives of primates. And yes, scuffling once in a while is a form of entertainment for them, but you shouldn't think that they are just doing this for fun. They are unable to control either the force of the blow or their own body, so the injured one is hit bad patch in his life. Despite this short-lived squabble and a fairly quick fight, they have given each other a sound thrashing. In the wild, animals of the same species may not be buddies at all. On the contrary, they can be dangerous rivals. In this video, rhinos are literally fighting to the death. As they are of the same species, that means their skin is equally thick, and their huge horns are equally dangerous, so this battle is just crazy. Of course, such fights are less dynamic, because these huge, clumsy guys are not as agile as smaller animals, but this doesn't mean that they are not as dangerous as, for example, lions. Rhinos are more stubborn and slow, so they will pursue their prey until it finally drops dead. And here is the power and tenacity of the wild, a wild fight between two bison. These guys may seem to be lazy, good-natured creatures, but this is not true at all. Despite their bulk, their speed varies from 50 to 70 kilometers per hour, and the height that this giants can easily overcome can be 1.8 to 2 meters. By the way, this species is also small in number. The populations are considered ecologically extinct in 2020, no matter how sad it is, but soon there may be no these bulls left at all. Here you can see the clash of two handsome stallions. Horses are very socialized animals. They are used to living in a close-knit herd, but even there, discords happen. Fights in the herd are quite common, but more often the stallions just play or bully each other. Big clashes usually occur during the mating season or when a stranger enters the area. Here, horses become ruthless and aggressive, showing the stranger all their strength and power. You will ask me a logical question. Has the tiger lately become the king of beasts? No, guys, it just hasn't met the real king, known to all other animals. I mean, the lion. And this video is direct proof of that. The lion with a goosebump roar is beating the tiger that was trying to somehow encroach on its territory or something like that. Just enjoy this fight with original sounds and see how strong these two are both physically and spiritually. To measure horns and to defend the territory, this was probably the plan of this rhinoceros. You see how gigantic it is. Do you know that rhinoceroses are the second largest animals on the planet after the elephants? It is clear why it seizes the territory so barbarously. Obviously, it is difficult to provide for such a carcass. By the way, rhinoceroses are almost blind, but at the same time they have an absolutely brilliant sense of smell and sensitive hearing. As for the buffalo, it is a hybrid. I don't mean that they are artificially bred, it is just a separate subspecies of bison. In this fight, of course, they were defeated as the powerful horn, and the size of the rhinoceros had been stronger. This time, luck was on the side of the cute little deer, so put away your handkerchiefs. The powerful alligator is certainly fast, but the fear of being chewed is faster. As you know, crocodiles and alligators practice lazy hunts. They can spend not only hours, but days tracking down a tasty morsel in ambush and then attack an animal that has come to drink water abruptly and uncompromisingly. They feel quite normal, even if they do not eat for a month or two. They turn on something like a conservation mode and float in their usual puddle, carefully checking if something is lying or standing in temptation's way. If someone filmed a wild hunt in the animal world, not like a documentary, but like a feature film, it would look exactly like this video. A wild coyote attacked the prey of powerful wolves and immediately paid for his impudence. Wolves also live in families, and their relationships are hierarchy from the oldest to the youngest. As a rule, there are several generations in a family, but they include only close relatives. That is, the eldest couple like grandma, grandpa, then mom, dad, and children. Hunting is literally in the blood of these creatures. Every action is tacitly agreed upon as they know their business down to the smallest detail. That is why their chase looks so cinematic. Oh, just look at this youthful brawl of two zebra cubs. In general, within their striped world, zebras are not conflictual. Only during the mating season, males defend their right for a mare. But the dust that these two young stallions spread around can be considered their youthful maximalism. Perhaps they just decided to frisk for a while and practice a couple of techniques. Ermine, or ferret. In the wild, this cute animal has long been known as a charming killer. Despite its miniature size, this animal is capable of attacking and eating not only a rabbit like this, but also a miniature dog. Of course, this is more of an exception than a rule. Obviously, it will be eating this rabbit for more than one day, and most likely share it with the whole family. Remember that video where the tiger was trying to attack the bear? So, if someone can't do it alone, then what does it mean? That's right, then it's time to call a friend and repeat the same thing with him. This is exactly what the tigers from the next video did, attacking the bear. But wait a minute, the thing is, they were not successful either. No matter how hard they tried to get to it, no matter how hard they tried, it just didn't work. So here you have a clubfoot teddy bear, which single-handedly chased away the two striped ones. Here you can see a striped horse grazing peacefully, while some violence is happening in the nearby bushes as another kitty has decided to feast on the pony. But the zebra is larger, so it had to saddle it and gnaw through the withers. I must say, it is doing it very successfully. The capture of a wild cat has turned out to be fatal for a frisky mare, but it was fighting back with all its might, as best as it could. By the way, I always thought that lions provide the pride with provisions, but this is not true at all. Cats set equality right down to raising cubs. For example, one lioness can feed and raise up to 9 other cats' cubs. Well, this is something even more interesting. A bear versus a bear. What are they fighting about? Maybe the she-bear? Having met in a clearing near the forest, the beats doubted for a long time whether it was worth it. But once you've decided, do it. And here it is, a deadly roar. What will happen next? The darker bear could not stand the tension and was the first to get into a fight. The challenger on the left did not tolerate it and took a hold in response. But no, its ear was bitten. This is so unfair. Having given in, the bear fell to the ground. After some time, he pulled himself together, got up, and broke free. After that, they growled a little and went home. And this is one of the most beautiful and well-thought-out attacks I have ever seen. Maybe it's all just because of professional filming, but still, just look. A white, beautiful, and huge bear saw a seal lying on an ice floe. He snuck up on him from behind, swimming underwater so that his head was barely visible. And then the bear ran very quickly to the victim, trying to catch up with it. The seal heard these loud steps and jumped into the water. But the things is these bears are great swimmers too. So in a couple of seconds, the clubfoot creature came out with the prey in his teeth. How do you feel about koalas? Did you know that these furry babies spend most of their lives sleeping? They are so lazy and adore eucalyptus so much that they can fall asleep right on a tree. By the way, this causes many accidents. The koala stuffs its belly with eucalyptus, falls asleep on a tall tree, and then falls down from it. Yes, it's a sad story, but you don't expect aggression from them at all. Apparently, one of the plush ones was defending its territory, being on a tasty, juicy tree. Well, and I must say, it was quite successful. Did you see how powerfully it bit the opponent on the ass? Oh, these passions. Now we can see a fight between some serious guys. A powerful tail supports the animals for a double blow with their hind legs. By the way, these animals live in close-knit families like monkeys, so it is quite possible that these guys are now defending their rights to head the family. Well, or maybe a stranger has crossed the territory of the community. You shouldn't have illusions about these animals, as they are not just cute and fluffy marsupials. In fact, they are real fighters. Besides their powerful blows with their paws, these animals are quite proficient in a couple of choking moves, which they use as a final game in a fight. We are all used to the fact that a squirrel is some kind of a cute and fluffy creature with a beautiful tail and a soft belly. But what about a tough confrontation with a cobra? Apparently, the cold-blooded killer decided to feast on newborn squirrels. Otherwise, how to explain this squirrel's persistence? The fluffy one is clearly protecting something. And what could be more important than offspring? Since we have been talking about primates, this funny baby gibbon has made this doggy pretty angry. It is difficult to call this a fight. Rather, the bully gibbon decided to test the dog's stress resistance. In the wild, these monkeys are quite aggressive towards strangers. Like other mammals of this species, they militantly defend their own territories, cubs, and food. But in the video, it is clear that the monkey does not feel any danger, so this little devil is just having fun. The Battle of Crocodiles is one of the most powerful fights. Crocodiles are very energy-saving animals. They can remain motionless for a long time, but at the moment of the fight, they show all their strength to the opponent. During the battle, they cause serious injuries to each other, and if they do not kill the opponent, then most probably he will survive. This is due to the specific features of the crocodile's body. Either bacteria or enzymes have been found in their blood that can disinfect a wound and quickly heal it. In short, these creatures heal themselves. Of course, they are not immortal, and they need a certain amount of time for serious wounds. And here is the mother lioness in action. The selection of prey was too much careful, so it exhausted the male, and the king of beasts decided to show the female an example and did the work for her. With an amazingly precise jerk, it knocked down a wild antelope and quickly dragged it to its territory. It's strange, but neither the wild cats nor the herd of antelopes are embarrassed by the parked cars and the photo hunt. It seems as if none of them notice the presence of people. And also, I wonder if they will have a family quarrel. Well, it seemed that the lioness was hunting and the arrogant male got the dinner, but it also confused the mother. Do lions even have arguments? A fight between two heavyweights. I wonder what are these aquatic creatures at odds over right next to the human home? By the way, hippos have always been associated with something kind and good. Well, they always swim somewhere calmly and do not fuss over trifle. But, in fact, a powerful, dangerous African predator hides behind the dense, thick skin. And watching this video, I am ready to believe this fact. Have you seen how the weak rival literally shit himself when the second one began to threaten with fangs? Maybe it's a coincidence, but I got scared too. Cheetahs are wild and graceful cats. They are the smallest of the tailed ones. They are bullies and are always ready to start a fight even within the pride. But as a rule, their fights are something like training before the hunt. Only males, the leaders, fight seriously and powerfully. Within the family, cats simply rehearse fights, or young males let off steam, as in this video, when they waved their paws a couple of times and proudly parted. During the hunt, they are not as imposing as in the video. Maybe these are two brothers, irritating each other or fighting over a rabbit's paw. This does not seem to be a real scuffle. In the next video, the tiger attacked the deer. No matter how fast the second one was, the tiger still caught up with him without any problem. A little later, it grabbed the deer by the back leg and began to hold him. Both animals understood that this was a turning point. Either the deer would wait for the right moment and kick back, which would buy it time to escape, or the tiger would slowly and gradually chew the deer's paw, making him practically motionless and therefore unarmed. But the tiger decided to act in a completely different way. It waited until the deer lost concentration on its body and jumped right on its back, continuing the siege from the other side. And this turned out to be a winning decision. And here is an amazing and slightly funny performance. A battle of mountain sheep. An interesting fact is that these particular individuals look more like goats, but in fact, they are sheep. The animals are famous for their super strong skulls and very hard horn. Well, yes, they are very stubborn and wayward, so such upstarts are quite common in the herd. This species is listed in the Red Book because each season the population of these lambs is inexorably decreasing. A powerful and huge Komodo dragon deals with a piglet in a single go. Of course, it is far from a harmless pig. This is a boar, and it can even tear a lion apart. But it seems that this does not bother the lizard at all, as it literally barely moves and chews the piglet with its jaws. Gross alert! Weak-nerved people should not watch this cold-blooded massacre. Battles of this scale also take place in the wild. A weasel versus a rat. By the way, the weasel is very similar to a ferret, but unlike its fellow, it has a more dangerous and predatory nature. It is the smallest representative of predators. Their main food is mouse-like rodents. They are agile, flexible, dexterous, and very quick. So hunting mice is quite easy for them. By the way, they can be tamed. Some people keep weasels at home precisely for the purpose of ecologically destroying rodents. Remember the fight between the lion and the tiger? Well, if the lion won that time, then imagine what chances the tiger has if several kings of beasts attack him at once. Of course, the chances are small, and this video is direct proof of that. The lions attacked the tiger from different sides, quickly knocked it to the ground, and what happened next, we just don't know. But I think if no one intervened, the outcome is quite obvious. After watching this video, I really felt uneasy. Here the mother bear stood up for her son. How touching, right? But see what happens next. After sending the baby home, the mother bear continued the fight with the tiger. This is where the real horror begins. Making no bones, the predators immediately started wrestling to get on all fours. Honestly, for a long time I couldn't figure out which of them was in the lead, but the tiger had the advantage. It immediately bit with its fangs. At some point, I thought that it would all be over. The ruler of the jungle was putting up tough pressure. But, despite the battle wound, the bear's will to win was stronger. Can you imagine? The mother still managed to drive the cat away. Another brutal murder. It's hard to call this a fight and an escape. The Komodo dragon literally doesn't give any chance. The huge, powerful and fast lizard not only cold-bloodedly grabs the sheep, but devours it alive, not giving it the right to escape. Oh, these videos make me feel uneasy. How do you like the fight between the two aggressive heavyweights? This is a Tibetan yak fighting a white one. The thing is that in nature, these bulls reach up to 4 meters in length and can weigh about 1,000 kilograms. Can you imagine the scale of the battle? At the same time, as it is typical for buffaloes, they are stubborn to the point of madness. Thus, the two incredibly aggressive, stubborn, and hardy animals meet on the way and begin to divide the territory. It is a well-known fact that even a seriously wounded yak can remain viable for a very long time and move around the mountains. This is something on the verge of fantasy, I tell you. And here is an example of a real fight for life from both sides. It may seem that the kitty is just having fun, But believe me, hunger drives the wolf out of the wood and sometimes pushes you to some crazy actions. It should be noted how bravely the antelope fights for its life. At some point, it seems that it is about to cope, but even if it breaks free from the tenacious lion's paws, the chances of escape are negligible. The outcome is predictable. The lioness won the prey, a low-fat and ecologically clean dinner for itself, and the pride. In the next video, the tiger approached the water to drink. It was exhausted and quenching its thirst when a huge python attacked it out of nowhere, grabbed the tiger, and wrapped itself around its body in a matter of seconds. By the way, this is probably the first time I have seen a tiger lost to a snake. It even didn't have a chance or any way out. A perky stranger with a striped tail entered the chimpanzee territory, for which he was severely punished. It is a well-known fact that monkeys live in a friendly pack and are ready to defend their lands together, shoulder to shoulder. But raccoons are not only cute, fluffy creatures, they are also cunning, cheeky scoundrels who steal food from others without a twinge of conscience. So for this, it was given a good beating. Everything that happens in the video does not look like a battle or a fight, but like some punishment. And what about the battle of the cutest animals in the world? Yes, what you are about to see can hardly be called a battle. It's like bullying friends. Well, most likely, the llamas themselves take this very seriously and maybe even feel like enraged predators. But for us, it looks completely different. It is worth remembering that all the softest, fluffiest, and warmest things are knitted from llama wool. So this game of tag ceases to be something sinister and begins to resemble a game of two kids. Let's talk about ridiculous battles. Of course, this sparring is not for life, but for death for these guys. But for us, it looks very funny, really. The giraffe's neck is the most powerful weapon in a fight. The main goal is to knock the opponent off his feet. Since the giraffe has quite sharp and powerful hooves, it will be much easier for it to defeat an opponent lying on the ground. Well, friends, that's all. Today we have watched another portion of exciting and incredible shots from the world of wildlife. Tell us in the comments what impressed you the most, and which animal has surprised you with such aggressive behavior. And now I have to say goodbye to you. I'll catch you next time. Bye.